Alan Beattie, False Economy, A Surprising Economic History of the World. Embark on an insightful journey through the economic history of the world with A False Economy by Alan Beattie. Discover how countries like the United States and Argentina, which started with similar economic prospects, diverged due to the choices they made in developing their land, embracing manufacturing industries, and navigating international trade. Unravel the role that urbanization plays in a nation's economic prosperity, with comparisons of overpopulated cities like Buenos Aires to thriving, diversified cities like Madrid, and examine decisions that shape economic balances like agricultural imports and exports.
Paths diverged, nations' economic fates. Argentina and the United States initially shared similar foundations as young, agriculturally rich nations. However, their economic destinies changed course as they made different decisions concerning land development and industrialization. The United States, opting to split land amongst skilled laborers, welcomed European farmers who significantly expanded their nation's western frontier. Additionally, America thrived on embracing manufacturing industries and foreign trade. Contrarily, Argentina chose to entrust its land to a select few wealthy landlords, limiting their agricultural potential. Things worsened when Argentina shunned foreign investors and globalization during 20th-century industrialization. Instead, they attempted to protect their government monopolies and isolate their markets, ultimately leading to one of the largest governmental bankruptcies in history. The contrasting economic growth paths of these two nations are a testament to the importance of land distribution, industry, and integration in global trade. Cities reflect national economy. Major cities often mirror a nation's economic situation due to development and urbanization's impact on prosperity. For instance, Rome during its empire days indicated both growth and instability, with high taxation and warfare resulting from the need to support its inhabitants' demands. Nowadays, overcrowded cities like Buenos Aires and Mexico City signify the lack of opportunities in their respective countries. In Argentina, 35% of the population resides in Buenos Aires, highlighting the failure of agricultural programs and forcing rural citizens to seek work within the city. Similar situations arise in multiple African cities, with urbanization occurring at the expense of the rest of the nation. A prime example is Lusaka, Zambia's capital, where taxing the countryside caused farmers to lose business and relocate to slums. In contrast, thriving cities like Madrid and Chicago contribute to diversified national economies, while cities such as Detroit crash due to over-reliance on one industry. Intriguing global food trade. The journey of asparagus from Peru to the United States can be traced back to a 1980s trade agreement, which curbs cocaine production and supplies the U.S. with millions of dollars worth of asparagus. Such decisions significantly impact a country's economic stability. For instance, Egypt, once a wheat-growing nation, now imports wheat due to its considerable water demands, opting to grow water-saving crops like herbs and vegetables for export. In contrast, civil wars and risky military regimes in many African countries hinder their ability to profit from exports, such as coffee. The costs involved in overcoming challenging border crossings and maintaining the quality of produce are often too high for companies to make a profit. Managing resources for prosperity. Finding valuable natural resources in a country may seem like a recipe for success, but history has shown that it can lead to economic chaos if not managed correctly. Comparing the economic situations of countries like Saudi Arabia, Norway, and Chile, it becomes evident that using stabilization funds to responsibly allocate revenue from natural resources can lead to prosperity. However, the struggles of countries like Sierra Leone and Zambia demonstrate that mismanagement and chasing quick wealth can have devastating consequences. A smart partnership, like the one between Botswana and De Beers, is another example of how to create long-term stability from natural wealth. Although one might assume that discovering oil or diamonds in a country guarantees wealth, this is not always the case. Poor resource management can lead to economic instability, as seen in oil-rich Saudi Arabia. Despite a high per capita income, the country suffers from a 25% unemployment rate and a restless population. On the other hand, Norway exemplifies responsible resource management. By putting excess oil revenue into a national stabilization fund, Norway has achieved economic stability. Similarly, Chile has created stability through a stabilization fund for earnings from its copper resources, showing that these funds can prevent over-reliance on a single resource. The fate of African nations with abundant diamonds or copper further illustrates the importance of proper resource management. Sierra Leone's diamond wealth led to illicit trading and an 11-year civil war. Zambia, seeking rapid wealth from its copper mines, pushed out foreign investors but was left with an unstable government due to inexperience and mismanagement. Conversely, Botswana tapped into its diamond wealth intelligently by partnering with foreign company De Beers. A long-term revenue-sharing agreement allowed De Beers to manage the diamond mines while Botswana invested in a national fund, thereby achieving economic stability from a steady revenue source. This example, along with Norway and Chile, demonstrates that proper management of natural resources is crucial for long-term prosperity and stability. Religion's impact on economics. The influence of religion on a nation's economic success has been a debated topic, and although early theories like Max Weber's suggested Protestants were more successful in business than Catholics, history has shown that this isn't entirely accurate. The economic advancements of predominantly Catholic countries like Italy and Spain have challenged these ideas. Similar theories about Asian and Middle Eastern countries have also been disproven, as the Asian financial crisis revealed that these nations are just as vulnerable as others. Some argue that Islamic nations struggle with their economy due to religious resistance to change, but countries like Malaysia and Indonesia have made wise economic decisions regardless of their religious majority. It is an oversimplification to attribute a nation's economic fortune solely to religion. In reality, decisions made by government leaders play a crucial role. Corruption versus prosperity, surprising outcomes. While it might sound unconventional, political corruption doesn't necessarily equate to economic downfall. Take the contrasting examples of Indonesia and Tanzania. Indonesia flourished under President Suharto's ruthless yet economically savvy regime, while Tanzania faced economic stagnation during Julius Nyerere's honest, but ill-advised term. It's essential to recognize that a nation's economic success largely depends on the choices and policies implemented by its government, rather than the presence or absence of corruption. Indonesia witnessed remarkable economic growth under the iron-fisted rule of President Suharto. In 1968, amidst political turmoil, Suharto seized power, reconstructing the government with hand-picked personnel. Despite his brutal methods, Suharto's economically astute policies opened Indonesia to international trade and investment, decreased poverty, and balanced the budget. In contrast, Tanzania, led by the incorruptible Julius Nyerere from 1964 to 1985, struggled economically due to Nyerere's misguided decisions. His aim to make Tanzania self-sufficient led to isolationist policies, deterring trade and investment. Moreover, Nyerere's attempts to socialize the country's farmers resulted in high levels of bribery, extortion, and ultimately, nationwide catastrophe. In the end, Nyerere was forced to abandon collectivization plans. Ultimately, a nation's economic fortune relies on effective decision-making rather than simply the moral character of its leaders.
In conclusion, False Economy sheds light on the complexities of economic growth and stability across the globe. The book emphasizes the crucial role of choices made in areas such as land development, international trade, resource management, and political decisions in determining the path of a nation's economic progress. The examples of countries and cities in the book underscore how diversified national economies stand a better chance at thriving, while overdependence on a single resource or industry can lead to economic despair. The overarching message is clear: choices matter, and the wisdom of these choices can significantly impact a country's economic fortunes.